The station Harmony hung in space like a giant silver wheel. Its metal sides gleamed under the light of distant stars. Inside, the main conference hall was busy with activity. Alien delegates from across the galaxy moved between tables, their different shapes and colors creating a strange mix of life. Captain J. Park stood near the entrance, watching everything carefully. She was tall and strong, with dark hair pulled back tightly. Her uniform was crisp and clean, showing no sign of the long journey they had just completed. Next to her, Lieutenant Daniel Kim checked something on a small device in his hand. The conference was supposed to be simple. Representatives from different alien species would talk about sharing space resources, but nothing was ever simple when humans were involved. The other delegates noticed the humans right away. Some looked curious. Some looked worried. The Krellians, a race of tall, blue-skinned beings with 4 arms, whispered among themselves. The Vortian diplomats, who looked like walking crystals with shifting colors, stopped their conversations. Humans were still new to galactic politics. They had only been part of the wider universe for a short time. But stories about them had spread quickly. Some said humans were unpredictable. Others said they were dangerous. Most agreed that they were different from any other species anyone had ever met. Daniel Kim noticed the stares. He didn't react. His face showed nothing. No anger, no pride, just calm observation. Captain Park knew this was part of their strategy. Humans had learned long ago that showing less was often more powerful than showing everything. The conference hall was a big circle with high ceilings and smooth walls. Different alien species sat at curved tables made of a material that looked like glass but was stronger than metal. Translation devices hung around everyone's necks, turning their various languages into a common speech that everyone could understand. A Krellian diplomat approached Captain Park. His blue skin had strange silver lines that moved like liquid. "Captain," he said, his voice deep and careful, "we are interested in your delegation's presence." J. Park turned slowly. Her eyes met the Krellian's 4 eyes. "We're here to discuss resources," she said simply. The Krellian's skin shifted color, from blue to a lighter shade that might mean surprise or uncertainty. "Just resources?" he asked. Before Park could answer, a commotion started at the far end of the hall. A group of Vortian diplomats were arguing about something. Their crystal-like bodies changed colors rapidly, which usually meant strong emotions. Daniel Kim's hand moved almost invisibly to a small device on his belt. Captain Park didn't look at him, but she knew he was ready for anything. This was how humans operated, always prepared, always watching. The station itself was neutral ground. No weapons were allowed. No direct conflicts could happen here. But everyone in the room knew that didn't mean things were safe. Diplomacy was its own kind of battlefield, and humans were becoming known for being very good at this particular fight. More delegates started to arrive. Some looked like walking plants. Some looked like collections of moving light. Some were so strange that human eyes would have trouble understanding their shape. But they all had one thing in common. They were watching the human delegation. 2 humans, just 2, but they seemed to take up more space than anyone else in the room. Captain J. Park adjusted her uniform slightly. Lieutenant Daniel Kim finished checking his device. They looked calm. They looked ready. Another day of galactic politics was about to begin. The main discussion began smoothly. Each species took turns talking about resource needs. Some wanted minerals. Some wanted energy sources. Some wanted trading routes through dangerous parts of space. The Krellian diplomat from earlier, named Xornak, sat close to the human delegation. His 4 arms moved as he spoke, changing colors with each gesture. Humans found this distracting, but they never showed it. Adaptability is the key to survival. Xornak said loudly. His words were meant to challenge. Some species adapt quickly. Some do not. Lieutenant Daniel Kim looked up. His smile was small. It was not a happy smile. It was something else. Adaptability. Daniel said. His voice was soft, but everyone heard him. The room went quiet. Even the translation devices seemed to pause. Captain J. Park watched carefully. She knew what was coming. Daniel had that look. The look humans got when they were about to explain something important. "Let me tell you about human adaptability," Daniel continued. Thornek's skin turned a bright purple. This color meant challenge. This color meant he was ready for an argument. "Humans came from a small planet," Daniel said. "A planet full of problems. Cold times, hot times, dangerous animals, harsh weather. Humans did not have sharp teeth. Humans did not have strong bodies. Humans did not have natural weapons." The other delegates listened. Some leaned forward. Some looked confused. "But humans had something else," Daniel said. His voice became stronger. "Humans had brains. Humans had the ability to change, to learn, to create tools." A Vortian diplomat raised a crystal hand. "What does this have to do with resources?" he asked. Daniel's smile got larger. "Everything," he said. Captain Park stepped forward. She knew how to support Daniel's story. Humans worked as a team. Always. When humans could not fight an animal, she said, they made tools. When they could not survive in cold, they made fire. When they could not grow food in one place, they moved. When one way of doing something did not work, they found another way. Thornek's skin started changing colors quickly. Purple, blue, silver. This meant he was getting angry. "Are you saying other species do not adapt?" he asked. "No," Daniel said. "I am saying humans adapt differently." The room felt strange. Tension moved through the air like electricity. Every alien species was watching the humans, waiting. Daniel pulled out a small device. It looked simple, but humans had learned that simple things could be powerful. "In our history," he said, "we faced many problems. Big problems. Problems that would destroy other species." Images appeared on the wall. Old human battles. Old human machines. Old human cities. "We did not just survive," Daniel said. "We changed the problem itself." A Krellian scientist looked interested. Her 3 eyes blinked in a pattern that meant deep thinking. "An example," she said. It was not a question. Daniel nodded. "Ice Age," he said. "Most animals died. Humans created warm clothes. Humans made better hunting tools. Humans learned to cook. Humans moved to new places. While others died, humans grew stronger." Captain Park added, "We do not just react to problems. We remake the problem." Thornek sat back. His forearms stopped moving. His skin turned a flat gray color. This meant confusion. This meant respect. The other delegates looked at each other. Something was happening. The humans were doing something unusual. They were not just talking. They were teaching. Lieutenant Daniel Kim's smile remained. Calm, steady, waiting. The conference would never be the same. Captain J. Park began to tell a story. Not just any story. A human story. The conference hall became silent. Even the translation devices seemed to hold their breath. "Humans started on one small planet," she said. "A planet with many dangers. Earth was not an easy place to live." The alien delegates leaned forward. Some looked confused. Some looked interested. All of them were listening. Park's voice was steady. Her words were simple, but each word carried weight. "In the beginning, humans were weak," she explained. "No sharp claws, no hard shells, no natural armor, just small bodies with big brains." A Vortian scientist raised a crystal hand. "How did you survive?" she asked. "We learned," Park said simply. The images on the wall changed. They showed early human history, cave paintings, simple stone tools, people hunting together. "Other animals were stronger," Park continued. "Lions could run faster. Bears were much bigger. Wolves hunted in packs. Humans had nothing special, except the ability to think differently." Daniel Kim stood beside her. They worked as a team, always watching, always supporting each other. The images shifted. Now they showed human development. From simple stone tools to complex machines, from small tribes to large cities. When humans could not run faster than a predator, Park said, they made tools. Sharp stones became spears. Fire became a weapon against cold and dangerous animals. Thornak, the Krellian diplomat, listened carefully. His forearms were now still. His skin had turned a deep blue, a color that meant deep thinking. Humans did not have strong bodies, Park explained. But they had something else. The ability to work together, to share knowledge, to learn from mistakes. More images appeared. Humans building ships, humans exploring new lands, humans creating strange machines. Each problem became a chance to learn, she said. Each difficulty was a test, and humans always found a way to pass that test. The Vortian scientist raised her hand again. But how does this relate to survival? She asked. Captain Park smiled. It was a small smile, but it made the other delegates feel strange. Survival is not about being the strongest, she said. Survival is about changing, about learning, about finding new ways when old ways do not work. The images on the wall showed human wars, not just fighting, but strategy, communication, teamwork. Humans faced big problems, Park continued. Ice ages that killed most animals, diseases that destroyed populations, wars that could have ended everything. Daniel Kim added, but we did not just survive. We grew stronger. The alien delegates looked at each other. Something was happening in the room. The humans were not just talking. They were showing something deeper. In one ice age, Park said, most animals died. Humans created warm clothes. Humans made better hunting tools. Humans learned to cook food in new ways. Humans moved to new places. Her voice was calm, but her words were powerful. Other species would give up, Daniel said softly. Humans rebuild. Humans change. Humans find a way. The conference hall felt different now. The tension from earlier had changed. Now there was something else, something the aliens could not understand easily. Respect. The Krellian diplomat, Thornak, looked at the humans. His forearms were still. His skin had turned a soft silver color. This color meant understanding. This color meant wonder. The story of human survival continued, and the galaxy listened. The conference changed after the humans' presentation. Something felt different. The alien delegates looked at each other with new eyes. A demonstration, said the Vortian chief diplomat. His crystal body shifted colors. Blue, then silver, then a mix of both. We want to see human capabilities. Captain Ja Park and Lieutenant Daniel Kim exchanged a quick look. They had been waiting for this moment. A joint military exercise, Park said. Her voice was calm. We will show you how humans approach challenges. The other delegates agreed quickly. Too quickly, perhaps. They were curious. They were worried. The simulation began on a large holographic platform in the center of the conference hall. It looked like a complex battlefield. Planets, moons, asteroids, space stations, dozens of different terrains and challenges. The alien military experts had designed the simulation. They were proud of its complexity. No species had ever solved all its challenges before. No species except humans. The first challenge was simple, or so the aliens thought. A small fleet needed to cross a dangerous asteroid field. Previous simulations showed that most species lost 60% of their ships in such a crossing. The human team, just 2 people, began working. Daniel Kim touched the holographic controls. His fingers moved fast. Too fast for most aliens to follow. Lines appeared. Paths changed. Ship formations shifted. The alien experts watched in confusion. Instead of trying to fight through the asteroid field, the humans did something unexpected. They used the asteroids themselves as protection. They mapped the field's movements. They created a path that used the asteroid's own momentum. Result: 0 ship losses. The alien military experts looked shocked. The next challenge was harder. A space station under attack, multiple enemy ships, limited resources. Previous simulations showed that most species would lose the station. Captain Park took control. She did not focus on fighting. She focused on communication. She hacked the enemy communication systems. She sent false messages. She created confusion. The enemy ships began fighting each other. The space station was saved, without firing a single weapon. The Krellian military expert stood up. "This is impossible," he said. Daniel Kim smiled. "Nothing is impossible," he said. "There are just problems we have not solved yet." More challenges came, each more complex than the last. A planet with limited oxygen, dangerous terrain, multiple enemy bases, limited equipment. The humans did not send troops. They sent small robots. The robots collected information. They created maps. They found water sources. They identified weak points in enemy defenses. When the actual mission came, it was almost too easy. The alien delegates watched in silence. The Vortian chief diplomat's crystal body changed colors so fast it was hard to watch. This meant extreme emotion. "How?" he asked. "Just one word." Daniel Kim explained simply. "We don't see obstacles. We see opportunities to learn." Captain Park added, "Every limitation is a chance to create a new solution." The simulation ended. A holographic battlefield disappeared. The results were clear. The human team had solved every single challenge, with minimal resources, with unexpected methods. No other species had ever done this before. The conference hall was completely silent. The humans had just shown something more than military skill. They had shown a way of thinking that was completely different, a way of thinking that could change everything. Kavarnak, the Krellian diplomat, looked at the humans. His 4 arms were still. His skin had turned a color no one had ever seen before. It was the color of total understanding and total fear. After the simulation, everything changed. The conference hall buzzed with energy. Alien delegates whispered to each other. Their strange languages mixed together, creating a sound like wind through metal pipes. A Vortian general named Kreltor stood up. His crystal body flickered with colors. Blue, silver, then a deep purple that meant serious thought. "The most dangerous weapon," he said slowly, "is not a gun, not a ship, not a bomb." Everyone turned to look at him. "The most dangerous weapon is a mind that can change," Kreltor continued. He looked directly at Captain Ja Park and Lieutenant Daniel Kim. The human delegation said nothing. They just waited. The room felt heavy. Something important was happening. Everyone could feel it. "Humans do not fight like other species," Kreltor explained. "Other species have rules. Other species have fixed ways of doing things." Daniel Kim's smile was small, but it was a smile that made other aliens feel strange. "Humans see rules as suggestions," the Vortian general said, "not as something fixed. Every problem is a chance to create a new way." A Krellian scientist named Lor-Anna stepped forward. Her 3 eyes blinked in a pattern that meant deep thinking. "In our tests," she said, "humans solved problems that took other species years. Humans solved them in minutes." The images from the military simulation played again on the wall. Ships moving in impossible ways. Communication systems being changed. Robots finding paths where no paths seemed to exist. "It is not about technology," Park said quietly. "It is about thinking." The aliens listened. Some looked worried. Some looked excited. Most looked confused. Daniel Kim began to explain. "Humans learn from failure," he said. "Other species try to avoid failure. Humans see failure as information, as a chance to learn something new." More images appeared. Old human inventions. Machines that failed. Designs that did not work. But each failure led to something better. "We do not give up," Park added. "We change." Kavarnak, the Krellian diplomat, moved closer. His forearms were still. His skin had turned a color that meant deep respect. "You remake problems," he said. It was not a question. "Yes," Daniel Kim answered. The conference hall felt different now. The aliens saw humans differently. These were not just another species. These were something else. A Vortian scientist raised a crystal hand. "How do you learn so fast?" she asked. Captain Park smiled. "We are always curious," she said. "Always asking questions. Always wanting to understand." The images changed again. They showed human children learning. Asking questions. Making mistakes. Then learning from those mistakes. "Most species protect what they know," Daniel explained. "Humans want to know more. Always more." Krultor spoke again. "Your greatest weapon is not in your hands," he said. "It is in your mind." The room went quiet. Lor Anna, the Krellian scientist, said something that surprised everyone. "Humans are not strong because of their technology," she said. "Humans are strong because they can think in ways no one else can." Daniel Kim and Jay Park stood together. Calm, steady, watching. They did not need to say anything more. The galaxy was learning about humans, and nothing would be the same again. Suddenly, everything changed. A loud alarm broke through the conference hall. The sound was sharp. It cut through all conversations like a knife. Krultor, the Vortian general, checked a small device. His crystal body turned a bright red, a color that meant danger. "Unknown ships," he said. His voice was cold. "Approaching fast." The conference hall erupted into chaos. Alien delegates moved quickly. Some looked scared. Some looked confused. Captain J. Park was different. She was calm. Her hand moved to a small communication device on her belt. "Unknown ships," she repeated. But her voice did not sound worried. It sounded interested. Lieutenant Daniel Kim was already working. His fingers moved across a holographic screen. Lines of information appeared and disappeared faster than most aliens could follow. "They are not like any species we know," he said. The station's main screen showed the approaching ships. They were large. They were fast. They looked different from anything the Galactic Confederation had seen before. Krultor turned to the human delegation. "Can you help?" he asked. Most species would have hesitated. Most species would have asked for more information. Most species would have waited for a committee to decide. Humans were different. "Yes," said Captain Park. The first attack came quickly. Energy weapons hit the station's outer shields. The station shook. Lights flickered. But the humans were already working. Daniel Kim found the attack pattern in seconds. Not by fighting. By watching. By understanding. "They communicate using wave patterns," he said quickly. "Not radio. Not sound. Something else." Park was already moving. Her hands danced across communication systems. She was not trying to fight. She was trying to understand. The alien delegates watched in shock. Most military teams would have started shooting. Most military teams would have prepared weapons. The humans were doing something else entirely. "They are looking for something," Park said. Her voice was calm. "Not trying to destroy. Trying to find." More attacks came. The station's shields were getting weaker. Other alien species prepared to fight. The humans kept working. Daniel Kim broke their communication code in minutes. Not by force. By understanding how they thought. "They are searching," he said, "for a specific type of energy source." Park nodded. "We can help them find it," she said. The other aliens looked confused. Healthy attackers. Humans saw things differently. Kim created a false signal. A beacon. Something that looked like the energy source the attackers wanted. The attacking ships changed direction. They moved toward the fake signal. Away from the station. Krultor could not believe what he was seeing. "You did not fight," he said. "We solved the problem," Park answered. The station was safe. No weapons fired. No lives lost. The alien delegates stared at the humans. Horn, the Krellian diplomat, spoke first. How? He asked. Daniel Kim smiled. Every problem has a solution, he said. Not every solution is a fight. The conference hall was silent. The humans had just saved everyone, without firing a single weapon. The galaxy was learning something important. Humans were not like other species. They were something else entirely. After the attack, everything was different. The conference hall became a place of deep thinking. Alien delegates looked at the humans with new eyes. These were not just another species. They were something more. Krell Tor, the Vortian general, called a special meeting. Only the top leaders were invited. And the humans, of course. Explain, he said to Captain Ja Park and Lieutenant Daniel Kim. The room was small. The walls were made of a material that looked like glass, but was stronger than metal. Each delegate sat in a chair that seemed to change shape to fit their body. Park spoke first. We do not see problems, she said. We see puzzles. Daniel Kim added, every challenge is a chance to learn something new. The alien leaders listened. Some looked confused. Some looked interested. All of them were watching carefully. A Krellian scientist named Lor-Ana asked a question. How do humans think so differently? Park explained slowly. Humans grow up learning to ask questions, to try new things, to fail and try again. Images appeared on the wall. They showed human children learning, making mistakes, trying again. Each failure was not an end. It was a step to something better. Most species protect what they know, Kim said. Humans want to know more. Always more. The images change. They showed human inventions. Machines that failed. Designs that did not work. But each failure led to something better. Tornak, the Krellian diplomat, leaned forward. His forearms were still. His skin had turned a color that meant deep respect. You remake problems, he said. Yes, Park answered. The room felt different. The aliens were seeing humans in a new way. Krell Tor spoke. Tell us about human strategy, he said. It was not a request. It was a demand. Daniel Kim smiled. Strategy is not about winning, he said. It is about understanding. More images appeared. Human battles. Not just fights, but complex ways of solving problems. We do not fight to destroy, Park explained. We fight to understand, to find a better way. The alien leaders looked at each other. Something was happening. The humans were teaching them something important. Lor-Ana asked another question. How do you learn so fast? Curiosity, Kim said simply. We are always curious, always asking questions. The images showed human exploration, people going to new places, trying new things, making mistakes, learning. Most species are afraid of the unknown, Park said. Humans see the unknown as a chance to learn. Tornak nodded. His skin changed colors, a sign of deep understanding. Krell Tor spoke again. Your greatest weapon is not technology, he said. It is how you think. The room went quiet. Daniel Kim's smile was small, but it was a smile that meant something important. We do not see walls, he said. We see doors. The alien leaders understood something new. Humans were not just another species. They were something else, a way of thinking that could change everything. The meeting ended, but something had changed forever. The galaxy was learning about humans, and nothing would be the same again. News spread quickly across the galaxy. The story of the humans at the conference became something more than just a meeting. It became a legend. Other species began to talk. They shared stories about the two humans who changed everything. Captain J. Park, Lieutenant Daniel Kim. On different planets, in different star systems, aliens gathered to discuss what had happened. A Vortian communication network buzzed with recordings from the conference. The images of humans solving impossible problems played over and over. Krell Tor, the Vortian general, gave a special speech. His crystal body glowed with different colors as he spoke. Humans are not like other species, he said. They do not see limits. They see possibilities. The speech was broadcast everywhere, to thousands of planets. Millions of alien species heard his words. On a small research station, Lorana, the Krellian scientist, studied the human recordings. She watched them again and again. Each time, she found something new. They do not think like anyone else, she told her team. They do not see problems. They see chances to learn. More stories came. Stories about human achievements. Stories about how humans solved impossible challenges. A mining colony had been stuck on a dangerous planet. Humans came. They did not use big machines. They used small robots. They learned about the planet. They found safe ways to work. An exploration team was lost in a dangerous asteroid field. Humans rescued them, not by fighting, by understanding the asteroid field's movement. Lieutenant Daniel Kim's words spread like a wave through space. We do not adapt to survive, he had said. We survive by adapting. Kadornak, the Krellian diplomat, began writing a book about humans, about how they thought, about how they saw the universe differently. Humans transform everything they touch, he wrote, not by force, by understanding. The Galactic Confederation changed, slowly at first, then faster. Alien species started to ask different questions. They started to look at problems in new ways. Schools began teaching about human thinking, about curiosity, about seeing challenges as chances to learn. Young aliens learned about human history, about how humans went from a small planet to exploring space, about how they solved problems no one thought could be solved. Captain Ja Park and Lieutenant Daniel Kim became more than people. They became a symbol of a different way of thinking. On Earth, humans did not know how much they had changed. They continued doing what they always did, being curious, asking questions, solving problems. The galaxy watched, and the galaxy learned. Some alien species were afraid. Humans were unpredictable. Humans did not follow rules. Humans sought everything as a chance to learn. Other species were excited. They saw humans as a chance to grow, to change, to become something new. Krultor's words became famous. The most dangerous weapon, he had said, is a mind that can change. Humans had shown the galaxy something important. Survival was not about being the strongest. Survival was about learning, about changing, about seeing every challenge as a chance to become something better. The conference was over, but its impact was just beginning. The galaxy was learning about humans, and nothing would ever be the same again. Years passed. The galaxy changed. Captain J. Park stood on the bridge of a new kind of ship, not a warship, not an exploration vessel, something different. Lieutenant Daniel Kim sat next to her. They had been promoted, but they were still a team. Always. The ship was called Hope. It was not the biggest ship, not the fastest ship, but it was the most important ship. Its mission was simple, but not easy. Bridge stations were filled with different species, Vordians with their crystal bodies, Krellians with 4 arms, humans, others that looked strange to human eyes. Krultor, now an important leader, watched from a special screen. His crystal body showed different colors. Excitement, curiosity, hope. We are going to a planet, Park announced. Her voice was calm. A planet no one has been able to help before. The crew listened. They were not just workers. They were problem solvers. Daniel Kim brought up images, a planet with harsh conditions, dangerous weather, limited resources. Most species had given up on this planet. Humans did not give up. Every problem is a chance to learn, Kim said. The words were familiar now. A motto, a way of thinking. The ship moved differently, not like other ships. It adapted, it changed, it learned. Small robots prepared to go to the planet's surface. Not big machines, smart machines, machines that could learn. Lorana, the Krellian scientist, monitored everything. Her 3 eyes watched carefully. She had learned from humans. She fought like them now. Sornak watched from another station. His 4 arms moved quickly, checking information, analyzing data. The planet looked dead, brown, dry. No life seemed possible. Most species would have turned back. Humans saw something else. "Look at the rock formations," Park said. Her finger pointed at strange patterns. Kim was already working. Computers mapped everything. Not just what was there. What could be there? "Water underground," he said. "Not much, but enough." The robots began their work. They did not just collect information. They changed. They learned. Hour after hour, they worked. Finding water. Finding ways to make the soil better. Finding chances to grow things. The crew watched. Different species. Different bodies. Same way of thinking. Kreltor spoke from his screen. "Explain what you are doing," he said. Park smiled. "We are not fixing a planet," she said. "We are helping it become something new." The robots found small life forms. Tiny things. Things other species would have missed. "Every life matters," Kim said. "Every chance matters." More hours passed. The planet began to change. Slowly, but it was changing. Small green things appeared. Water moved in new ways. The ground became different. The crew celebrated, not with big sounds, with quiet understanding. They had done something impossible. They had found life where no one thought life could exist. Sornak's skin turned a color no one had seen before, a color of total joy, of total hope. "This is what humans do," Lorana said. "They do not see dead things. They see chances to live." The ship continued its work. The planet continued to change. Park and Kim looked at each other. They did not need to speak. They understood. The most terrifying thing about humans was not their technology, not their weapons, not their ships. It was their mind. A mind that could look at anything, even a dead planet, and see a chance to create life, to create hope. The galaxy watched, and the galaxy learned.